and each one of those plot points in the story, we know we have to get to those things. But sometimes it's a bolt, it's a jolt to sit there and just discover your story with no thought at all. I mean, we did that in Nickel and Dime to Death. We really did that. It was like we kept adding characters and we knew where we were going to get, but it kind of happened, organically, writing it, So being able to hit those spots, we followed all the rules just by, muscle reflex, but still, we didn't know what was going to happen yet. We didn't know what was going to happen in each one of those stories. And that's part of the creative process. It's like, yes, it's great to have an AI assistant, but that's part of the human experience where it's like, hey, this is great because, it's like you're there. There's a point that we don't talk about this often, but there's a point in a story that you've created. You created characters. You kind of had the story laid out that at one moment, and especially with fictitious characters, those characters become alive and real in your head. I mean, I can't tell you how many times over the years Rich has said, "Hey, you can't believe what Frank did. Hey, you can't believe what George did. You can't believe this part," because they became alive. And while you're working on that script, you could be working on a dozen different projects, but to each one of those things, I mean, they come and they haunt you, they visit you, and because they became real in your head. I mean, we had worked so much on that one script that over the period of several years that it's like you could think about them and they're almost real in your head. I mean, they're almost like real characters. I mean, I think Frank, Jimmy, and Tony, very real. You know, because a lot of times we put pieces of ourselves in that script, people that we know, um, things that have happened in our lives, and you put them into those characters. It's part of their backstory. Um, it's just that's the jolt, the bolt. Hey, for the hell of it all, it's fun. It makes it fun.